India is emerging as a strong global power and its influence is being felt in the entire world. This trajectory requires India to make all the right moves to broaden its sphere of influence. Recently, India has taken a decision to intervene in the Israel-Palestine conflict to bring about peace. This move has been liked by communities within and outside India. NSA Ajit Doval last Monday met Israel PM Benjamin Netanyahu. Today, we'll discuss the possibilities which this meeting brings. Welcome to The Matrix. The Israel-Palestine conflict has become a never-ending story. It has resulted in a toll which has given goosebumps to the world community. Despite intervention of top world leadership, there is no let-up in the violence in the region. India's initiative for peace is being seen thus far as the most effective and promising intervention. Today, I have with me renowned Indian scholar Dr. Khwaja Iftikhar Ahmed to discuss the development. Welcome to the show, sir. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you so much. Walaikum salam.
We are really indebted that you've been here and you're fasting today. But since it is a very important topic and you take keen interest in this, let me begin by asking you, sir.
Please.
Under Prime Minister Modi's leadership, India has become a global player, which is being taken very seriously. Now, NSA Ajit Doval has met PM Netanyahu to work towards Gaza ceasefire and delivery of humanitarian aid. Now, what are the possibilities? It certainly is going to be a tough mission and it will be a time-taking process. What do you say?
Taylor, first of all, I would like to bring to your notice and to the notice of our clienteling audience. What is India? We are a nation who is identified as a peace lover, a peacemaker, a peace preacher and propagator. Ahimsa is the soul of India.
Right.
That's point number one. And this is how we as a nation, for thousands of years, have earned for ourselves a reputation and goodwill. That if there can be a Messiah of peace in any part of the world, and if there can be anybody to peep into the toughest of the toughest situations and conflicts like today's conflict, it is our right, it is our responsibility, and perhaps it is our duty. In this context, let us examine the 2-3 facts which you have mentioned. First of all, you said that India is becoming a global power.
Yes.
I would put it, we have already become a global power. There's no doubt about it.
Right.
We have earned that space. And the kind of pace that we are getting across the globe, that brings testimony to this fact, the statement which I just made before you. Secondly, our National Security Advisor, Ajit Doval sahab, his decades old experience, which is multidimensional, multifaceted, and multidirectional. His expertise is a treasure for Indian diplomacy.
Absolutely.
And Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji deserves 3 cheers for having him right from the beginning. And in the field of world diplomacy, our achievements one after the other, after all, in whose pocket they will go.
Right.
They will go in terms of leadership to Modi ji and in terms of execution for Ajit Doval ji.
Right.
Coming to the recent intervention and his visit to Israel and his meeting with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, it's a strategic meeting. It's not a normal meeting or interaction.
Right.
He must have taken a message of our Prime Minister, who's too keen to bring about peace from day one since the war has erupted.
Yes.
He is focusing his attention on humanitarian loss and humanitarian aid, and his concerns are most on the human factor.
True.
And government at its own level and our civil society at our own level, we are doing our utmost under the given circumstances. I am sure, and deadly sure, that there is definitely a good amount of groundwork before his visit.
Right.
And Ate, we must remember, America has failed.
That's true because
France has failed.
Yes.
UK has failed. European Union has failed. The neighboring Gulf states have not succeeded.
Right.
I don't want to attach the word failure with them.
Right.
They have not succeeded in spite of their most sincere attempts and efforts and initiatives. The Organization of Islamic Conference has become of no consequence.
Right.
The Gulf Cooperation Council is indirectly peeping in, but not too active apparently.
Right.
So when even the Russia and China, all the world players,
Right.
they have not succeeded in bringing home to the leadership of Israel to agree to cease fire and go back to normalcy.
Yes.
Who has been sent now? It's not Prime Minister Modi alone.
Right.
It is the total world leadership which is behind this move.
Absolutely. It's a very important.
I am deadly sure, Ate, that it is not Ajit Doval ji alone being the national security advisor of our country, but he being the representative and the ambassador
Right.
of all peace-loving nations around the world.
Right.
He has met Benjamin Netanyahu, and I am 100% sure, though 100% is never used in diplomacy, but I am using it because I am an optimist, you know it very well,
Right.
that something substantial and tangible will be seen very soon.
Inshallah, sir. But also, sir, in Awaz the Voice, we have got several reactions from especially the Muslim community leaders who lauded this move, and they said that it is a very much required intervention. And the fact that NSA Ajit Doval met PM Netanyahu, now there is a ray of hope. But how has the Indian community seen this move?
Don't you know, Athir, the goodwill that Ajit Doval ji enjoys
Right.
among all communities,
True.
even among Muslims and Kashmiris?
Yes.
That is
doubt.
very much
Right.
evident on ground.
Right.
So when a person who enjoys the support of our leadership,
Right.
our civil society, all religious communities,
Right.
and India as one entity, as one nation,
Right.
without going into segregations, A or B or C, I think the whole nation is solidly behind this move.
Absolutely.
And no eyebrows should be raised on this, and no questions should be raised on this. Rather, the trust that stands on ground should be strengthened by more and more vocal support. Muslim community is never an exception when it comes to the foreign policy priorities.
Absolutely. And the timing is also very important of the meeting. It happened on the eve of Ramzan.
Yes,
So
the holy month of Ramadan.
yes.
It's a month when all violence must stop.
Right. Right.
But still, unfortunately, it's going on.
It's going on. More than 30,000 people.
Yeah.
A lot of children,
Yes.
almost half of them. But tell me, sir, that PM Netanyahu has been ignoring, I would say, US President Biden's advice on the ceasefire and humanitarian aid. In this backdrop, do you think that India's initiative brings a healing touch for both the sides, both the Israel and the Arab world?
I think what is diplomacy? It is about balancing act.
Right.
And what is the balancing act? The balancing act is that the tilt should not be
Right.
to either side.
Right.
The focus should be on the central theme, which is peace,
Right.
ceasefire,
Right.
resolution of Palestinian dispute, two-state solution,
Right.
rehabilitation, humanitarian aid management. These are the areas.
Right.
Now, coming to Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, isn't he a human being? Definitely he is. Isn't it he is civilized? Definitely, by all means. At his heart, the pain which has hurt him, it has hurt him to the extent that he has gone to an excessive platform of taking revenge and setting the ground right and showing Hamas its place.
Right.
But I want to tell him, no, I want to request him that we are all human beings.
Right.
I am sure that the loss of Israelis and the loss of Palestinians, innocent children, half-cut bodies,
Very sad.
bulldozing of buried bodies, attacks on hospitals, killing patients.
Yes. And you see the images of
And
children
the
starving.
images, they bring just tears.
Right.
I'm sure enough is enough. What has happened, I'm not a man of condemnation. In the worst of the worst circumstances, when nobody is looking at hope, I remain on the side of optimism.
Right.
And with that optimism and my faith in Almighty Allah and my faith in Indian leadership and our democracy and our honest attempt towards peace,
Right.
the month of Ramadan and its blessings will shower on this visit and on the head and shoulders of Benjamin Netanyahu. After all, we are cousins, we are the children of Adam, and we are the children of Abraham.
Right.
This bond will take care of both the Palestinians and the Jews together, being cousins of each other,
Right.
come to the table of peace.
Right. God willing, sir. But we saw how India has averted nuclear attack by Russia on Ukraine. And the fact that NSA Ajit Doval met PM Netanyahu shows India's resolve to take on another big challenge. Do you agree?
I agree. Nuclear war, it serves whose purpose? Generally, people say we have so many.
Yes.
We can destroy the whole world. I feel ashamed of such statements.
Right.
Are we as a human civilization there to destroy civilization? Are we here for destruction? Or are we here, or have we been sent on this planet Earth by the Creator to serve humanity, to build good ground for humanity's development and construction?
Right.
I'm sure for this. So under the given circumstances, nuclear war, even thinking about it,
Yes. And many
is
strategists
beyond imagination for a person like me.
and many strategists are saying that the Third World War may come from that
We were
region.
almost on the verge of that.
Right.
And Prime Minister Modi, with the good office of our National Security Advisor, Ajit Doval sir,
Right.
again sends him there. We enjoy extremely good and strategic relationship and partnership with Russia,
Right.
previously with Soviet Union. They have played good amount of role in various difficult situations.
Right.
And even that relationship goes on unabatedly and uninterruptedly, and we are able to maintain the balance between America and Russia. So in that backdrop, intervention, nobody could have done this,
Right.
because the whole Europe
Yeah.
and the entire Western America, they were actually on the side of the war
Right.
on behalf of Ukraine with Russia.
True.
So who was there in the world?
Right.
It was only India.
Yes.
So India, our history, our heritage, our track record of peace and diplomacy, and the effective skill of negotiations and prevailing on the other side.
And NSA is known for that.
This is what I'm referring to, NSA only.
Right.
I'm not referring to anybody else. And all that could prevail and the world could be saved from another Holocaust.
Right. So India is in that unique position of winning the trust of people. That's very important. May it be Russia or may it be Israel. Now I would like to
Before
ask.
I forget,
Yes,
let me say one sentence.
Sir.
Goodwill many enjoy in world diplomacy. I'm referring to nations and leaders.
Right.
Trust very few enjoys.
That's true.
And we are lucky to have a prime minister
Yes.
who is trusted
That's true.
within and outside.
That's true.
Not only him, but his team. And
The entire
above
team.
all, Ajit Doval.
Of course.
Because he is in the world arena.
That's true.
That's why.
And he's been consistent in his efforts.
Yes, of course.
To protect the nation and for making peace efforts. Now, sir, tell me that India has profound interest and relations with both the Arab world and its all-weather friend Israel. Now, in finding a solution to a conflict of this kind in the region, which is so old and which is so intense, do you think India will have to do a tightrope? It's going to be a very tough balancing act.
We are passing through testing times as far as our Gulf diplomacy is concerned. But I'm glad that the ages-old trust between Arabs and Indians and both civilizations, that is the biggest deterrent in the present circumstances.
Right.
Secondly, the 10 million Indians, their contribution in building a new Gulf. Right? That is another consolidating factor.
Yes, of course.
The third factor is that our track record of supporting Arab cause, Arab solidarity, Arab unity, Arab sovereignty, and Palestinian cause. Over the years, with no changes in our government and politics and our governance, that is the third factor which prevails. And finally, under the given circumstances, Arabs and their leadership constantly approaching our leadership. That you are the one. Even I remember Palestinian Prime Minister coming in open and requesting the Honorable Prime Minister that please peep in, use your influence, prevail on the circumstances, take a vocal position and bold step and press both of us. We are there to accept your terms of reference for peace. So
Indian leadership.
So that is why your question gets the answer that we have over centuries, in fact, we have earned expertise in maintaining equilibrium and in maintaining harmony and balance between difficult situations. That this is what India is all about and this is what India is known for.
Sure. Now, sir, India's peace initiative in Gaza is a huge Indian population is standing behind the government.
Yes.
Do you think this will strengthen India's position as a peacemaker?
Of course. What is the biggest strength of India? Two. The first is civilization. Let us remember this. Second is democracy. Because in our civilization, we have democracy right from the beginning. Otherwise, Zoroastrians should have come here. Okay?
Yes.
Jews might not have come here. Islam might not have come here. Christianity might not have come here. Buddhists might not have survived here. So this in itself is a proof, is an example that this is a legend where tolerance and democracy goes and people stands. But in the modern world, democracy is the testing ground and it is a full majority government. And it's going to be in few months again a full majority back case.
Absolutely.
So the people, the world trust this stability, this continuity and this consistency.
Right.
So what we say and what Ajit Doval ji says and what Prime Minister Modi ji ever say or claim, it is not taken lightly.
Absolutely.
It is taken seriously and sincerely. It means business,
Right.
and people take it that way.
Dr. Khwaja Fikar Ahmed, you came to our studios. Thank you so much for this interaction. India has always maintained that the Israel-Palestine conflict can be resolved with the two-state theory. It remains firm on its conviction. Our country has always promoted peace and has empathized with human sufferings. India's great civilizational foundation makes it believe in maintaining good relations with the rest of the world, even as it emerges as a global leader. That's all we have this week. We'll be back soon with another interesting episode. Till then, goodbye from the Matrix team.